/WakeUpCallDT. Proud to be here with you inside of the Cafe Kubal studios where sports meets that thing called life. You're live with us every Monday through Friday and appreciate your patience today as we were traveling. So thank you for being patient with us this morning. YouTube.com /WakeUpCallDT. Facebook.com /WakeUpCallDT. Facebook.com /LiveNowDT. And on MixLR.com /WakeUpCallDT, as well as on the homepage of WakeUpCallDT.com. So however you're tuning into the show, thank you so much for being here inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, filling your cup up right, keeping you warm on a day like today. And you know what? Some people still like their iced coffee and their iced lattes and chais and everything when the weather's a little bit chilly. So when the weather outside is frightful, you can warm it up or cool it down at Cafe Kubal. You know they're there for you every single day of the week, every single month of the year. 3501 James Street in Syracuse, as well as 401 South Salina Street in the great, wonderful community of Syracuse, New York, as well as inside of Galisano's Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse, and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their drive-through location in North Syracuse, and of course at 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. So however you can connect with Cafe Kubal, make sure you do that today. You can also grab my nachos today, the DTCNY nachos. You could grab those at PB&J's Lunchbox on 6630 Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. And while you're doing that, you can get yourself some Cafe Kubal, as Cafe Kubal is now proudly being served at PB&J's Lunchbox. Yet another company in our community that is all about that local. So make sure that you support local today. Jam-packed show inside of MaandPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. So make sure that you head out to Ma and Paz on 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. You can also order from anywhere in the country by going to MaandPazPopcorn.com. What's poppin' today? We got a bunch of great things coming up for you inside the Cafe Kubal studios. We'll start off with the annoying moment of the week, as we do every single Friday, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Then we'll hop into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Jim Ursakowski and the entire incredible team there will be bringing us a conversation today, which is all about seeing between the clouds, right? You look up, you see the clouds, you start to get down in the dumps. Well, we're going to show you how to try to look between the clouds and train yourself, train your mind and your heart to see between the clouds. So we're going to be doing that. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay with my co-host, Miss Juanita Ward. And, of course, from there, we'll announce the top dog of the week, and that is going to be awesome, as top dog of the week this week is going to be all about Moyne College. That's proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. And we'll round out the show, as you see the Pacer logo here, for our newest edition of Pacer Pride. You know our episodes come to you every Friday, and you're going to be seeing it today as we have picture-in-picture with Jen Carleton, the head coach of the Marywood Pacers women's basketball team, and the star of this week's whiteout game, Miss Olivia Ciullo, who will be joining us to speak on the current state of the Marywood Pacers and why you should choose Marywood. So Liv talks to all of the future teammates she may have out there by letting you know why you should come to Marywood, and Jen Carleton does the same thing as the head coach of the team, as we have a great discussion with these wonderful women in our community coming up here in just a little bit, and very excited. They're actually going to be starting at 10:21 this morning, which is an ode to my birthday and my favorite number, which is 21. So a lot of great stuff coming up where sports meets life. It's time to jump in to the annoying moment of the week, and wow, do I have a lot of things I can choose from this week. The annoying moment of the week coming to you right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. So very happy to bring you the annoying moment of the week, the longest standing segment on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in its 11th year. The annoying moment of the week is here with us right now, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I'm really honest. I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
You have to be that crazy. I guess so.
The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt for us this week, folks. There's a couple different places I can go for the annoying moment of the week, right? There's a few different places I could go. How about this place? You know when you try to like get in your house with the normal key that you have? Juanita and I were talking all about, faith is the key, love is the answer. Well, how about when your key doesn't like work? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, when you make like maybe a second key or something like that and it sticks and it's like not turning. How about those days? Also, what about when you, like, in today's world that we have, right? The Lysol wipes, or whatever wipes you use. There's like a million different types of wipes. But let's just say Lysol or whatever. And I'm not trying to knock Lysol at all. They've been very helpful for me to clean up everything in this COVID time. So, which I really hope is over soon. And so, you have like those wipes, right? But it's so cold outside and the wipes close. But if there's like the littlest hint of a crack of like an opening somewhere, they freeze. So then when you go to use one of the wipes, they're all stuck together in a giant clump of fun. So that is one of my annoying moments of the week. The whole like key thing when you make another key and you feel like it's not really working out there. Also, I found out I'm going to be going down to Florida soon. It's 20 degrees lower than what I thought it was going to be, which is not really an annoying moment of the week for me because I'll go to Disney if it's like 4 degrees outside. But I know for some people, that's tough. So, but I'm going to have fun no matter what because that's what we do here, right? We roll with the punches. That's what Wake Up Call is all about. That's what my grandparents taught me. We're all about that. So I'm very, very much somebody who rolls with the punches, believes that there's always another day. So I do, and to appreciate the day you got, right? Appreciate the day you got. Surround yourself with good people always. Another one of my annoying moments of the week is I don't have a that's like attached to the internet. When I'm watching my shows, did you ever have that like with your mom or your dad? I'm watching my shows. I am watching my shows. Like my mom, she's like, General Hospital is on. And this is not how my mom sounds at all, by the way. But she's like, I have to make my mom sound sweeter. She doesn't sound like that at all. My mom's like, honey, General Hospital is on. Like, I will kill you. Like, I will cut you if you stand in front of... Like, when I was growing up, you did not speak for an hour. From 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Not even maybe during commercials, but that was like a dicey place. You don't speak during General Hospital, right? I'm watching my shows. So, one of my annoying moments... I love you, Ma. One of my annoying moments of the week, she's a very sweet human being. I'm just joking around with how she said it. But, like... when you have your show on, like, you just want to watch it, right? You just want to, like, that's why you turned it on. It's like, bro, let me watch my show. So the internet here, and my thoughts on the internet company that many of us have in this community. It's frustrating. And, so I'm sitting here, I'm in my theater room, enjoying my life because, life is a man who's not married. Like, I have posters on the wall and I can just kind of like relax and put stuff where I want to put it. And, like if I ever put myself in a situation where I was like in a relationship where someone lived in my home again, like to me, I have to protect those posters, right? You got to protect those posters. So you got to protect your, because I feel bad when like a man says I have to have a man cave. You shouldn't have to have a man cave. Like, it's your house. Right? Your wife shouldn't have to like have a little corner, and you shouldn't have to have a little corner. Like, y'all should have, like, it should be community, right? It should be like, we love each other, we support each other. And so for me, when I'm in my theater room, which I'm very proud of, my internet down there, like that TV more than any other TV in my house, it like struggles to stay on the internet. And it's this like, my internet, the signal. And so I just wonder if you guys get that. You know what I mean? Because like I can't stand when something is buffering. Like I really can't stand when something I can't. I mean there's more important things in life, obviously. I'm not trying to say that there's not. There's a million things more important than buffering. But the annoyance of when something is like loading and then loading and then loading and you're like, Because you're like, what about when you're trying to type in your password and then it starts to load? So then, like, you don't know, like, how much of my password did I put in before it started loading. It's just annoying. I feel like the internet should be working on this stuff. I'm not like NASA, okay? Like, I have technology. I mean, obviously, I own my own business. I have a lot of things that I have to do to edit and this, that, and whatever. But I'm not trying to attach, like, I'm not trying to attach an entertainment system like I'm an amphitheater putting on, like, a Carrie Underwood concert. So I feel like the internet should work. I feel like it should be kind to me, especially in my home. So those are my annoying moments of the week. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of there, right? But just certain things that are little annoyances when you're like, yo, I'm just trying to, like, have my day, right? I'm just trying to relax and enjoy and have a good time. So my buddy here, longtime listener, what's up, man? Saying, damn you, Rectum, because he knows. Greg knows. I call them Rectum. I won't call them by name because they're not a sponsor, and I'll call them Rectum because it's funny. So, and what did Mike say? My annoying moment of the week is when I'm watching my shows and my phone goes off. Yeah, I'm watching my shows. My grandmother used to call it watching her stories. I'm watching my stories. Like, the sweetest woman in the world that literally I've never met anybody that's like her at all. I mean, I would like to think someday that I'm somewhat like her in a good way. And my mom has tendencies too. And, my dog reminds me of her for real though. It's like uncanny. My dog's very human. But my grandmother would be like, I'm watching my stories, right? And it's like, you could not explain to my grandmother at 100 years old, the internet is buffering. Like, sorry, Graham, too many people are watching Murder, She Wrote, so no one's going to know, like, what she wrote about it. You know what I mean? Murder, she... you know what I mean? Like, what happened? I want to know what's going on. Nobody wants a bit... that glitch. You know what I mean? I'm watching my stories. So this weekend, I'm going to tell Rectum, let's be real about this, okay? There's games on. Papa needs to watch them, so let's be nice to Daddy, okay? We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. These have been your annoying moments of the week. Please don't let the cold weather fool you, and understand that the fantastic people at Carvel DeWitt are here for you all year round. You can get out to Carvel DeWitt today by going to 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. It is what happy tastes like, and it's the exclusive home of the Orange Dream, which is my spin on an orange creamsicle as a sundae or a shake form. You can go and get the Orange Dream today. Let them know that Wake Up Call sent you. And the Orange Dream can be yours at Carvel DeWitt exclusively, along with all of your fantastic favorites at Carvel DeWitt. So make sure you head out there today. And thank you to Carvel DeWitt for being the longest standing partner in Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora history. Really been with us since the beginning. So I think it's 11 years now that we've been doing this. So a big shout out to Carvel DeWitt. We appreciate you so very much. And thank you for the annoying moment of the week. With that being said, I'll take a step aside for a fast break, and when we come back, we'll be here with Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from inside of your Cafe Kubal studios. Papa trying to warm up, and I'm getting excited to watch my stories. Nobody keep me from my stories this weekend, okay? I got to catch up on The Punisher. Like, what are we doing? I'll take a step aside. We'll be back right after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cubal needs. Cafe Cubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt here inside the Cafe Cubal studios. And, you know, to those of you that like watching episodes of Wake Up Call, I guess, we're your stories, right? You're watching our stories. So, you know, frustration, I talked to you about it, the annoying moment of the week, don't mess with my stories. Don't make me come get you. You know what company you are. You know what it's about. So don't make me come over there. That's what I'm going to have to say about it. But happy to be here with you inside the Cafe Cubal studios. What's poppin'? Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, bringing you a list of topics for the day. Lead is up next, as they are every single Friday right around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. What is up to my good people out there all over the world, all over the country? Thank you so much for tuning in here in Central and Upstate New York and beyond. I am so happy to be here with my sister, who I love so very much, means the world to me, and that is Miss Juanita Ward here with us, where sports meets that thing called life. We are inside of Lead. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. That is what the acronym stands for. And Miss Juanita Ward coming to us today to have some fun on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with a great topic called Seeing Between the Clouds. But before we do that, Lead proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. We have to welcome in my sister and see how she's doing. So, Miss Juanita Ward, how are you?
Hey, Dan. Man, listen, I have a song for you, and it's Dan the Man, da-da-da-da. What's up, man? How are you? I'm super excited, man.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. As long as the internet does what it's supposed to this weekend, I'm all right. Because you know what? Like I don't want this to be my prayer over my pasta tonight. Dear Lord, thank you so much for my life. Please get rid of COVID. Please help us all to be healthy and safe and happy. And don't let it buffer during The Punisher today on Netflix. Like, I don't want to bother God with that prayer. You know what I mean? But like, He knows that when I'm in I'm in my area, right? I'm in my theater room. You know, I'm big about my movies and my TV shows. I like to relax. You know, I got a nice little setup in the house. So, you know, I treat every day like, you know, it's like every day I'm at the theater. So I need to just relax and have it. And I just, you know, nobody wants to see what I look like when you buffer during my stories. That's it. That's all I know. So, Juanita, do you have a show or shows that you just enjoy so much that you are like, yo, my internet better not mess with my streaming service right now?
Man, listen, I can't even say that I do, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Because I'm always on the road. I'm always going, man. And, you know, this one time I really tried to sit down and watch, I think it was a Marvel movie, And honestly, the thing was, we had to go on a trip, and I really tried to watch the Marvel movie, but the thing was, it got to me because they ended the movie, and now it's time for more series. And they've ended with 9 series, and so now there's no more series out there to watch. And so now it's like the anticipation of waiting for this movie to actually come back. You know, I'm big on action movies. Whenever I get the opportunity to sit down and watch them, because we're always on the road going, and whenever I do get the opportunity to sit down and watch a movie, I'm big on action movies, because it's just something about Marvel movies where there's like a story behind the story, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, seriously? And now they're coming out with these series, whereas, Dan, I feel that they can actually just go on and make it into a movie so that we can continue to watch it over and over and over, you know, instead of having to go, okay, what's happening next? Wait, the anticipation of this is so crazy. So, yeah, man, I just absolutely, you know, I don't have a specific movie that or you know, show that I watch, because we're always gone. But when I do get the opportunity to sit down and watch it, man, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm caught up in this. Especially that one Marvel series that you sent to me, Dan. I'm like, what? She has to come back. Like, she has to fix her kids. The last part that I left off on was her kids got caught up in this place because her friend next door was, I think it's Wonder Woman, if I'm not mistaken. I'll find the movie before we finish this conversation. But
I think I know what it is. Was it WandaVision? Is that the one?
WandaVision, that's it. WandaVision. Oh my gosh! And I'm waiting on this series to come back, and they have not finished the series. And I don't want to give it away, but she has these 2 boys, and all of a sudden they're growing extremely fast. And her friend next door, she thought was her friend next door, she's like involved in like superpowers and so forth. And so she kind of goes and gets the boys, you know, tells her she's going to like keep them or whatever. She goes to get the boys, but she takes the boys to this specific location to where now WandaVision cannot find her children. And this other lady was sent there to help her. And I'm just like, what? So she thought the lady that was sent to help her was a bad person. But that lady was actually a good person, not knowing that the lady across the street was the one that was bad.
Yeah.
Well, let's think about that. That is definitely a story within a story. That is definitely a message within a message. Because here's the thing. Sometimes the people that we think that's close to us may be the very ones that's not good for us. And what do we do when God sends us somebody that's supposed to be there for us? Well, we look at their abilities and we go, that does not match the characteristics of the type of people that have been coming in my life. And now that there's a difference in character, I don't really want to get the chance to know that character, because that character does not match what I've been seeing on a consistent basis. And what I've been seeing on a consistent basis, I have not necessarily agreed with what I've been seeing, but I accepted what I've been seeing because it's been coming so frequently and so consistently. So when you do get sent someone that is supposed to be good for you, that's supposed to help you, you're quickly on pause. Like, you're quickly in a time where it's like, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can, hear you. I don't know if I can do anything because, I got my radars up, is what people say. I got my radars up about you. I'm really checking you out. So what am I saying? There's so much camouflage out here that people don't even know that sometimes the person that's extremely close to you may really be the enemy. And then when God sends someone that's supposed to be there for you to help you through the situation, don't turn your back on him. Don't turn your back. Because when you turn your back on what is really supposed to be there, you lose power. And that was the thing at that particular moment with WandaVision. She turned her back on what was sent to help her. She turned her back on what was sent to get her out of that situation. She turned her back on it because she became so comfortable with what was right in front of her, with what was next door. She trusted and confined in what was right in front of her and what was right next door. So she became complacent and comfortable with what was right next to her, instead of being open-minded to what is it, that's how we have to be. What is it that God needs us to do? What is it that God needs, not wants, but needs us to do? Something important about the need.
And you bring up a great, and God always comes on time. The messages that you talk about all the time, Juanita, and we don't talk about what we're going to, we just say this is the topic, but we don't talk about what we're going to discuss going into it. And it's so amazing that you talk about that. Seeing between the clouds is today's topic, and you just brought it up, right? Sometimes the people that we think are good for us are not good for us. They're bad for us, and they're not helpful to us. They drag us down. We have to see between the clouds. We have to see beyond what may meet the eye. We have to look beyond that. And at the same time, there's, like you said, there's the people that we think may be good for us that are not, and then there's the people that we may push away that are actually great for us, that are trying to help us, that are trying to be there for us. That's why you can't let past issues determine, your future. You can't let that stuff happen to you. You can't sit here today and say, okay, well, nobody helped me when I needed help 10 months ago, so now I don't trust that anybody's going to be there to help me now, because then you're going to push away good people. But you always got to be on alert that the people that you may keep closest to you might be the most dangerous people to have around. And so there's a saying that my friend and I just talked about recently. And when we were discussing it, it was, when somebody tells you who they are, trust them. They will eventually show you. Nobody's going to come up to you and say, hey, I'm a bad person, I do bad things. Nobody's going to say that. Everyone's going to tell you I'm a good person, right? In the Bible, wolf in sheep's clothing. Everybody's going to tell you I'm a good person. But nobody can stay in character forever. So when that person breaks character and shows you who they are, some of them are good people. And some of them are people that may not be good for you. And you have to see the difference of that and really pay attention to it. People will show you who they are. That is the one thing that I know about life, is that people will always show you who they are. Their true colors will bleed eventually. And it's up to you to see between the clouds, read between the lines. And when God sends you red flags, to see them go up. There are white flags like I surrender. There's red flags like hello. And then sometimes there's no flags, and then that's a good thing. So, it's up to us to really pay attention, because we say, oh, God doesn't care. Some people say, oh, God doesn't care about us. He's not paying attention. He's not watching me. He's so busy. Oh, he's never too busy to send you up a flag. Sometimes God was like, yo, I sent a flag. I put a flare up in the air, Dan. I made fireworks in the middle of October. I sent a siren. I was out here scratching at the door like a cat. I did everything. My dad, God's out there you know what I mean? He's like, I did everything I possibly could to let you know. I remember somebody said, did you ever see a red flag? And I'm like, I didn't see a red flag. They're like, really? I was like, no, I saw 17 of them. So it's up to us to read between the lines, see between the clouds, and understand that sometimes between the clouds, there is a bright, beautiful sun waiting for you. And sometimes between the clouds, there might be some hail coming. And we have to, like you said about the TV show WandaVision, know the difference between the mild-mannered neighbor who seems so sweet and so kind, but has another story, versus the person who really genuinely might be rough around the edges, but they came to help. In WandaVision, the person trying to help her was very strong-willed and very much not going to force you to believe anything, and they very much are who they are. And it might have come across as somebody they couldn't trust because they were coming from a point of authority and they were trying to shut something down. But the neighbor next door that's baking you pies, that was the most dangerous person in the story. So I think it's really important for us to pay attention and remember, people will always show you who they are. All you have to do is give them time.
So Dan, this is amazing. Like I said, I've written the book, I Can, I Will Succeed, and I love your topic today. It's I Can, I Will Succeed, 15 Principles That Winners Embrace to Win. That's the name of my book. And it's amazing that we talk about this topic, right? And so if it's okay with you, I would like to actually read chapter 7, because chapter 7 is talking about what we're talking about. And chapter 7's title says this: get the clouds out of the way. So it goes on to read, and it says this. And if you don't have a copy of the book, it's on Amazon.com. And I strongly suggest that, listeners get a copy of the book, because these are 15 principles that you will embrace to win. So chapter 7 says this. The title says, get the clouds out of the way. Imagine you were going on a cruise. As you were waiting to board the ship, you overlooked this couple, and you overheard this couple talking about the amazing sunsets that they saw the last time they were on the ship. You board with eager anticipation to wake up early in the morning to see this amazing sunrise. You set your alarm for 5 a.m. because you don't want to miss a second of this memorable moment. It is 4:52 a.m. and the anticipation of this sunrise awakes you before your alarm clock can go off. You grab your journal and a cup of coffee and you head to the deck. Your anticipation soon becomes a disappointment when you walk out and all you see is fog. These low-lying clouds that are obstructing your view of what you expect to be the most beautiful sunrise you have ever seen. With the utter disappointment, you yell out, get these clouds out of the way. Sometimes in life, you live with a thought of freeness and you are motivated by anticipation. It's not until you have experienced some disappointment that you realize the older you get, the cloudier your mind becomes with life's disappointments. You are like sponges, and we absorb everything that life throws at us. We learn from the life lessons, situations, people, and experiences. However, you are free to believe and live how you want. It is your free will to do as you please. God is omnipotent, meaning he is all-powerful. He is so much stronger than any and everything. The clouds that are in the way right now don't have to last forever, but you have to make the main thing the main thing. If you seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then everything else will be added to you. The sun is right behind that cloudy sky you see right now. Let's go back to the cruise. Your focus should not have been to see the artistic sunset. Your focus and anticipation should have been to spend time with the artist who painted that beautiful sunset. Had you just taken a seat on the deck and talked to him, you would have known that he desired to roll the clouds back like a curtain to reveal this special masterpiece that he did just for you. Instead, you went back to your cabin, fell asleep, and missed that moment. The more you seek God and talk with him, the better your relationship will become. Clouds are going to come, but God is always and will always be there to see you through. The steps of a good and righteous man are directed and established by the Lord, and he delights in his way and blesses your path. Your steps are ordered, and your walk is with a purpose. Never forget or deny the power inside of you. You belong to God. You have already won the victory because the spirit who lives in you is greater than the spirit who lives in the world. So don't be discouraged by the clouds. There is a masterpiece waiting for you on the other side. And Dan, I'm thinking about this and I'm going, what a great topic for today. Because sometimes we miss the message and we miss the moment focusing on the wrong thing. We're looking at something when we should be thanking God for every situation that come in our life. Just like in chapter 7. They were on the cruise and they were looking for this beautiful, beautiful design, beautiful sunset. Might I add, God is the absolute best artist I have ever seen in the whole entire world.
Yeah.
There's nobody better than him. I mean, absolutely, the pictures that he creates in the sky is absolutely fantastic, absolutely phenomenal. Nobody can go up into the clouds and make something up. God specifically knows how to place the right structure of clouds. And he knows how to mix everything together to make a beautiful masterpiece. But just as the people on the cruise, they were trying to see the sunset. And they really wanted to see this beautiful sunset. But the thing was, we could be going so much with so high of anticipation, expecting something great. But then when we get there, what happens if it's not what we thought it was going to be? Because sometimes there's a different presence. There's a different perspective. But if we take that moment to actually take in what that moment means and thank God in the midst of it, it may not be what we want. It may not be how we want. It may not work out how we want it to work out. But it works out how God has already planned it to work out. We just have to trust the process. We just have to trust that everything that God does has a purpose, has a plan. Most importantly, it definitely has an understanding. Because wisdom is the principal thing. And when we're seeking understanding, we must seek wisdom instead of leaning to our own understanding. Because our understanding only gives us temporary fix. But God understanding gives us a stability that we cannot obtain with our own footsteps. We have to walk this thing out step by step with God. And though the clouds may come, we have to truly, truly take our eyes off of what's in front of us and look beneath, look beyond what's right there.
Awesome message this morning coming from Juanita Ward, coming right on time, as God always does. Every time I say to him, God, please guard me from what is not for me, guide me toward what is. Every time I say, God, please help me to know the answer. Help me to know, should I go toward this or away from this? Toward this partnership, away from this partnership. Toward this person, away from this person. Every time I ask him. Every time I ask him. He comes on time. Every time. And I honestly cannot thank him enough for being so amazing. You know, I think of the song Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. That once was lost, but now is found, was blind, but now I see. At some point, in a not great situation, we're all blind, right? We're blinded by material things sometimes. We're blinded by promises that are not kept. We're blinded by beauty, right? Like you said, they want to see the sunset so bad. They want to see it, they want to see it, they want to see it, they want to see it. They're missing something. There's something to be said about that. Was blind, but now I see. God will always open your eyes. My goal is to not have to wait for God to go, Eureka. My goal is to be opening my eyes toward him without him having to turn me. Now, if he has to turn me, hey God, go do what you got to do. Your will is my way. That's the only way I'm going. So I appreciate that. I'm going to tell a story in closing here about focusing on something and missing something else. I'm going to tell a little story. I fly a lot. I do what I love and I love what I do, and I have the luxury in my life of really getting to live a very cool life. I don't feel like I work a day in my life. And that comes from a lot of hard work, dedication, and determination. Kind of the irony of that. In order to not feel like you work, you got to work really hard. And so I was on a plane one time, and it was like, I don't know, like 6 o'clock at night or whatever. It was getting dark. And maybe it was like 6 at the time, and then it was like 8. It was somewhere around that region. And if you looked out the right side of the plane, this is the craziest thing in the world. Like, people that the challenge of God exists, like, this to me is like, how is this even possible? So the plane was literally like an equator, was like the equator line. If you were looking out on the right side of the plane, you saw this incredibly beautiful sunset. And people were like, oh my God, look. And people on the left side were like, look. And they want to like come over, and they're like kind of looking, and they're like, got their hand on the armrest of a stranger across them going, you don't mind if I look? I want to take a picture. Honey, look at this. And on the left side, there was this incredibly starry night. And I don't know how to describe it to this day, because I was flying on the East Coast. And on the right side of the plane, there was a sunset. And on the left side of the plane, it was dark and there were stars out. And I remember going, how is this possible? How did God make the plane the equator? That on the right side of the plane, it's still bright out. And on the left side of the plane, it's the middle of the night. And if you stared at the right side at this incredible sunset, you missed the left side starry night. And if you stared at the starry night, you missed the sunset. You had to be able to look all around you. And who has the best peripheral vision of all time? The only one who's omnipresent. God. There's no blind spot in God's eye. I'm going to say that again. There's no blind spot in God's eye. Don't miss what he's trying to show you. Look all around the plane. Pay attention. Pay attention. Juanita, as always, I appreciate you, and I send you so much love. I am so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so grateful that you let me be a part of your show this week. I am so honored about everything that we're going to be doing, and God has been speaking so clearly when you and I have conversations on your show and my show, that I feel like we just have a lot more work to do and a lot more to be had. So with that being said, I love you, I appreciate you, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, man. Put God first. Take care.
Take care. That coming from Juanita Ward here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. That's the acronym. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we spin back around, we will be here with our top dog of the week, and we are honoring Miss Mary Grimes, the head coach of the Moyne College Dolphins women's basketball team, comes to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, a place where she has been a mainstay since her hiring. I can't wait to have her on right after this.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York, open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every single time. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market every Tuesday through Sunday. So many different ways to enjoy the Millhouse Market, from their drive-up, drive-through window, grab your food and go, as well as their indoor dining with a bistro menu that changes every week, so you get to have new specials from the incredible mind of Rebecca Alford, and of course their general store with local products from local companies. It's not enough that Millhouse Market makes everything here for us so incredibly amazing, but they help out other companies in the community so that when they win, we all win together. And that's all about teamwork. And Mary Grimes is going to talk about that with us in a second. So big shout out to the Millhouse Market, 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every time. Back here inside the Cafe Kubal studios, and our top dog of the week. And I can't do this without a little help from my daughter, Miss Lily. Go ahead, take it away, girl. My top dog of the week this week comes to you from Moyne College. You know that Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of Moyne. I could not be prouder of that opportunity and the great relationships that we have already built in just a few months because of this unprecedented access and opportunity to put a spotlight on Moyne. So with that being said, my top dog of the week is somebody who is absolutely wreaking havoc in the NE10 and in college basketball in general, and that is the one, the only, and I would say she's got one of the biggest, most awesome personalities in the community, but her daughter may have beat her out on this, but let me bring her in anyways and she could talk to you about it. Miss Mary Grimes, our top dog of the week.
What's up, Dan?
What is up, Miss Mary? How are you?
Oh, man, I'm hanging in there. We had a tough one last night, but, you know, we're just going to regroup for the weekend, and I appreciate you making me the top dog of the week.
Yeah, top dog of the week, proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, right there in East Syracuse, right off of Bridge Street, just a few minutes from Moyne College. And, you know, Mary, I made you the top dog of the week because not only have you come out here and had a tremendous, your reputation has preceded you the way, when I met you, you know, Gina Castelli vouched for you, Bob Beretta, you know, people that I appreciate and have come to know spoke so highly of you. Then we sat down, and I remember sitting with you right there in front of Ted Grant Court in that little foyer, so to speak, and we had our first conversation, and I was like, gosh, I really like talking to Mary. And I told you, I said, I'm looking forward to many more to come. Like, this means a lot to me. And ironically, it's the same place where I had the first interview with Gina Castelli. And so to do that, to hear the great things about you, to get the vibe of you know, obviously Gina just loving everything that you brought to the program, working with her, and then getting to sit with you, immediately feeling that energy, and then looking at what you've done I know you're humble. I know you want to win every game, and I respect that. Trust me. Every single show, I want to be the best show I've ever done in my life. Everything I touch, I want to be gold. I get it. I understand it. But with that being said, Mary, you are a first-time head coach, and paralleling that first-time head coach at Moyne, you have done such an incredible job with this program. You hit the ground running, winning your first ever game that you had out there. And I know that a couple haven't gone the way that you wanted them to go. But at the end of the day right now, the NE10 is tough. College basketball in and of itself is tough. And you got Moyne in some really good footing. So you're our top dog of the week, not just because of your personality, your kindness, your compassion, and your community-based flavor, and just the fact of how much the community means to you, but that you are literally putting together one of the best seasons I've seen from Moyne women's basketball, and you're doing it in your first year.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm living up to everybody's standards here, and it's funny because I talked to Coach Castelli last week, and she just kind of checked in with me and asked me how everything's going, how I like it, and what are some hurdles, and it just comes natural to me. I feel like I found what I'm good at, and I come to work every day, and it's not a job. It's, I do it because I love it. And so I think, the old saying, if you do what you love, it's not work. And so it's been an easy transition for me just because I love basketball. And, this is a great team. I always say Coach Castelli didn't leave the cupboards bare. So, it's been really good so far. And, like you said, I want to win every game. I think we're going to win every game, but you can't win them all. But you can. There's things we can fix, and even when we win, I'm like, okay, we can improve upon this, even if it's little things like helping teammates up, because in the long run, those are the things that help you win.
Yeah, and Mary, for you, and despite the loss here, they came very recently to those of you watching and listening live yesterday night, and so before that, the team was on a 6-game winning streak. How did you string all those games together on that 6-game winning streak? You're 10-3 overall. 6 of those 10 just came in a row. What can you say about that streak?
Yeah, I mean, we're really experienced. We're a really veteran team. So going into every game, I think it's helpful that we have that experience, and they understand that you can't have a night off. The NE10 is very, very tough, and we're really led by Erin Foraker, who I think is vying for Player of the Year. She just, every time she says, I want to beat this team so bad, I know we're in a good spot, So Emma, Jenna, they just are really our anchors. And when they're together and they've got, the team focus where we need to be, I know we're in a good place. So it's, really good that we have seniors that understand the league.
And like you said, Gina Castelli not leaving the cupboards bare. What can you say about coming in and being a first-time head coach? You've been in the game for a long time, but being a first-time head coach, just how important it is to bridge the gap when you take over a team of players that you didn't necessarily recruit. I know you were at Moyne just a short time ago, but when you come to a team and you're trying to establish your culture and your leadership, and you have that veteran status, that experience status that can help you, if they buy into you, that they can really help bridge the gap for you, just what that means, that you have a class that has bought in, that has believed in the Mary Grimes way, and has helped you to deliver your message to their peers on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really fortunate because they are seniors that, I can address them, and say, hey, we're not rebounding, and then they go out and go rebound. So there's some nuances that, you have to teach, like freshmen, like every freshman thinks they're working hard. And it's like, you got to bust their bubble. It's like, you got to work harder. Where our freshmen are right now, I'm saying, listen, this is the standard. The seniors are showing that standard. And so hopefully it's an easy transition. So there's some things that, I don't necessarily have to teach as far as like hard work and the standard of excellence that we had when I was here previously, that I've been fortunate enough to have that easy transition. And there's some things that I expect, as far as like during a drill, don't let the ball hit the floor on the rebound. First couple weeks, I had to remind them that this needs to happen. And now they're getting that ball out before I even look up, So some of those nuances that they've been able to just take in, and it's not anything that they can't do. So I just try to keep it as simple as possible. Just work hard and give effort.
Yeah, and that effort, that enthusiasm, that togetherness, Mary, to be 10 wins in 13 tries already at this point, and where this team is at, how would you define it? And like you said, you want to win every game. You believe the team can win every game. That's why you are the coach that you are. And so as you step forward, knowing that the NE10 is a battlefield, just what you could tell me about where the team is right now comparative to where you hoped everything would be, and how you see things moving forward, knowing that the NE10 is no slouch.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're doing is we're not looking far ahead. We have assumption on Saturday. I'm not worried about St. Rose or, Southern Connecticut next week. I think, just continually keeping them in the moment, keeping them focused on the next game. I tell them Saturday is the biggest game of the season because it's our next game. So I keep them very present in what we're doing and not let them look too far ahead. I hope I keep them humble. At one point we were leading the country in rebounding, and I didn't mention that until we weren't rebounding. And I said, hey, you guys know we're leading the country in rebounding, and so we need to rebound like it. So I try to keep them very present and humble in what we're doing, that we don't look too far ahead and we just focus on the next thing in front of us. And it helps me focus as well. I haven't looked at any assumption film until when we get home at midnight last night. So, I focus on what's ahead, and that's all I can do.
That coming from Lemoyne Dolphins women's basketball head coach Mary Grimes. Mary, I'm all about paying it forward in my life and on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora as part of that. So who would you name a top dog of the week this week for you on the Lemoyne women's basketball team?
Like I said, Erin Foraker, it's been a really pleasant surprise. We both were kind of in new positions. I'm a first-year head coach. She wasn't ever really a point guard. She, says this is her first year playing full-time point guard. So I would give her top dog of the week because she's embraced being our point guard, and she's really been an extension of me, which has made everything a lot easier. And she understands the magnitude of every game, and I can just go to talk to her, and she can relay those messages to the team. And she's definitely my top dog of the week. Everything doesn't show up always in the stats, but her leadership is second to none.
Awesome. I love that. So much appreciation to everything that you've done. And, of course, much appreciation to Erin Foraker as well. Top dog of the week, Miss Mary Grimes. Head out and make sure you're supporting Lemoyne College and everything that they do from women's basketball and beyond. Make sure you're there at Ted Grant Court, and make sure you just go check out the campus, head to the bookstore, do something to support our fantastic Dolphins and Mary Grimes and all the work that she's put forward. So, Mary, thank you from the bottom of my heart as always. Shout out for you being the top dog, and I look forward for everything that is to come. And more than anything else, I will never get sick of my What's Up Dan, so thank you for that.
Appreciate the time, and go Fins.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Go Fins.
Thank you.
Take care. That coming from Mary Grimes here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. We'll take a step aside here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, but not before we hear from Lily one more time as our top dog of the week. Miss Mary Grimes is honored, and she honors Erin Foraker here from Lemoyne College with the Dolphins women's basketball team. That's coming from Lily, and the top dog of the week coming from Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we spin back around, we will be here with you with our final piece of today's show, celebrating the Marywood University Pacers, as we have head coach of the women's basketball team, Jen Carleton, on the broadcast, joined by who I would say is one of her top dogs of this week, Ciullo. Olivia Ciullo joining the broadcast with Jen Carleton right after this picture-in-picture for a very special episode of Pacer Pride, which you'll find every Friday on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and hour number 2, exclusively here where sports meets life. So much coming up. Thanks to Lemoyne, Marywood to come. You're amazing. We appreciate you. and Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is better because of you. So we'll take a step aside in the Cafe Kubal studios and be back right after these awesome messages from our incredible partners that help to make our community a little bit brighter. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Kampground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop. as well as on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. And of course, you're watching and listening picture in picture on facebook.com/livenowdt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, in a very special edition of Pacer Pride with three of us on the screen right now. I am a proud Marywood alum. We have our Marywood women's basketball head coach, Jen Carleton, and we have my favorite name that I've said for the first, of all the names I've gotten to MC or announce, I can get very, very much used to saying Olivia Ciullo the way that I was saying it. And I think I said it like, I don't know, 8 or 9 times in a row. I lost count of how many buckets that Olivia had. So the women's basketball team front and center on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in this edition of Pacer Pride. Olivia and Jen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Olivia, bring me into your story. I would love to know what got you started in basketball and what made you fall in love with the sport in the beginning.
I played basketball since like kindergarten. It was always just like me and my dad's thing. We'd always be in the driveway shooting around. And then it kind of just stuck with me through elementary school, middle school, high school. Like, I never played any other sports. It was just basketball. That was my thing. And just fell in love with the game.
What would you attribute to, like you said, you playing since kindergarten and you just stuck with it? What would you attribute to getting to play collegiately? What was it about your work ethic or a mentor or a coach or coaches that you had that really, or playing in the driveway with your dad? What do you think got you to the point where you could play at this level?
I just had a great support system all through middle school, high school. Like I said, my dad was always like my coach, even if he wasn't on the sideline. I had a great high school coach who sadly passed away last year, but he was always on my side, always had my back through everything. I work out a lot down at Riverfront, so I have a great support system there, working out all the time. And now here we have Coach Jen, Coach Joe, Coach Nikki, just great support system everywhere.
I'm sorry to hear about your coach and just what you can say about the lasting legacy that they'll leave in your life.
Yeah, he was the best coach. He would get kicked out of games just having our back. He would get technicals every game because he just wanted us to know that he had our back. So yeah, he definitely left an impact on me. I have his name written on my shoes. Just never forget him.
And to shout him out, one more time here to share with everybody his full name, because I really want to represent him here.
Coach Ron Stecchiati.
Nice Italian name. I like that. So you said he was always there for you, always defended you and whatnot. Are you expecting Miss Carleton to get a few technicals for you now?
Oh, yeah, she already has. Got one in the Marymount game early on. But, yeah, she always has our back. The rest came up to her last
first
night.
game, I think, too.
Yeah.
It was Liv's first game, and of course she had to throw the technical out the first one. I didn't do it because it was her first game. I did it because it was necessary. But obviously it worked out. So.
And Jen, I guess some coaches can speak to the art of the technical. That there is a right time or a way that you kind of learn through experience, knowledge, and wisdom of the game, that there are moments where it's valuable or maybe a chess game move to get a technical. Can you speak to that?
Do I have to? But yeah. I think there definitely is chess moves and times and places. And I think the most important thing is knowing if your team can react positively to it. Like, I've had teams that I've got a technical and we were down 20 and 2 minutes later, we tied the game up. I've also had teams that, we were down 15 and we'd get down 30 if I got a technical. So you have to know your team, you have to know how they're going to respond. But I do think that this team has that fight and feistiness about them that they know I'm going to fight for them regardless. They also know that we're not babies. We're not people who are going to get pushed over. We're going to fight for what we want and what we deserve. But at the same time, we're not going to be overly complainers. But they're going to hear from me if they need to. Trust me.
Yeah, I think that there's a time and a place to fuel the team. And speaking of a time and a place to fuel the team, Liv, you did that in the game in the whiteout at Marywood University this week. You were able to come out there in the second half and strike. And because of your offensive play and what you were able to do, 63-62 lead at the end of the third quarter. And then the team took off from there, and you never gave it back after that. Bring me into what happened for you at halftime. What was going through your mind? What was maybe your progression there to get to a place in the second half where you just did? I mean, you took over. You were confident in your shot. You took shots from all over the floor. It wasn't like you were in one spot going to one place and trying one thing. You were so multiple on offense. What got into you in the second half?
I think at halftime we were all just like fired up. We knew we had to come out like with a chip on our shoulder. We were only down 8, but we just knew we had to come out strong and like jump on them early. And I think that's exactly what we did. We moved the ball really well. My teammates hit me. I got a couple open corner shots I was able to knock down, but that was ultimately them. Like, they found me open in the corner, and I had the easy part. They had to move the ball 5 times to find me. So, yeah, I think we played great defense in the third quarter. We really jumped on them, and that was just a great team effort. We started rebounding a lot better, I think. And I think just the tempo on offense. We were moving the ball in the open person, and it worked out for us.
Liv, what was it about? I mean, when your team, you never gave up in this game. And I've watched basketball pretty much my whole life. And I've seen some of the teams that you consider to, be the most reputable teams look like they give up. Look like they kind of just pack it in. Okay, we're going to lose this one. Let's lose it gracefully or ungracefully or whatever it may be. You and all of your teammates and coach and the entire staff in this game against Gwynedd Mercy at home at Marywood, you did not ever look like you were down. I didn't see anybody hang their heads. I didn't see anybody point fingers at anybody else. And once you took that lead, it was like every possession, pound for pound, no matter how hard they fought and what they did, you guys, even the way you were dribbling the ball, it just seemed more fierce. It seemed more determined. It seemed more direct. It seemed like you wanted your opponent to know, hey, we took this from you and you're not getting it back. Bring me into that energy, because I felt that. I'm at the corner of the court, and as soon as you guys took the lead, I just felt this this tangible, just like not anger, but like this tangible, just kind of, beast in the room of like, hey, we took this, we got it, and we're going to be feisty the whole rest of the game. I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, because I felt it.
I just think that's like honestly how our team is. Like, we never give up. Like, we fight to the very end no matter what. And it just started going our way, and we like got the game in our control. And I think we just knew that it had to stay that way. Like, we got up on them and we kept going. Everybody hit big shots. Our defense, I think, led us to that. Like, we sprung off offense, defense. Like, we got stops, we got scores. And even if we didn't score, we were getting good looks. So I think that was great. And yeah, like, we just had a ton of energy. Once we got up on them, like, we knew we didn't want to get back down. We had a ton of energy on defense. We controlled the rebound, and I think we started to just control the game.
And Coach, you and I have talked about this before here on our special edition of Pacer Pride. Comes to you every Friday in hour number 2 between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Today, celebrating Marywood University women's basketball with head coach Jen Carleton, and a star of the recent game here against Gwynedd Mercy, and someone who's been an asset to this team, Olivia Ciullo. Jen, the resiliency of the team, the toughness of this team, the determination. You're hearing one of your players talk about the fact that, hey, we don't give up. We're going to fight to the bitter end. That's got to make you ecstatic as a coach to hear, one of your players say, hey, listen, we're not packing anything in. If we're in the gym and there's time on the clock, we're playing.
And that's been the mentality all year. And they just they love to play the game of basketball, and that can never get taken away from them, whether we're up by 20, down by 20, or anything in between. When we have an opportunity to get in the gym and be together and get better, they're going to take advantage of that, and they're not going to slack off when they have that opportunity to do so. They're just a tough group that really loves to play, and they love to play together. They love to win, and they love the process. Me and you have talked about the process before, and nothing's ever going to be handed to us. We said that after the Cabrini game, like, just because we think that we're in good shape and we're mentally, better than we were 2 weeks ago and before that, nothing's just going to be handed to us. Doors aren't going to, push open for us just because we enter a room. We have to make that door open. And yesterday we made that door open, and hopefully we can keep that door open. And I do believe that this team, they got the little taste last night of like a huge win. And now it's just going to be, off to the races for us. Like I said, we have Immaculata on Saturday, and we lost in overtime to them the first time. Liv didn't play. I think she became official. She just registered for her classes probably an hour before the game, so we got her onto the bus so she can at least see it with us. But she didn't get to play that one, and I know she's anxious and ready to go, and we're anxious and ready for her to go as well. So we're looking forward to Saturday, and I'm looking forward to this team's mentality of just staying true to the process and staying true to the journey and just working their butts off every day. And that's what they do. They really do. And they appreciate each other. And they want to get better for each other, not just for themselves.
Jen, what did you see in Liv when she was transferring from Susquehanna? What was it about her that you felt like was going to be an asset to bring onto the team? So what did you see then? And what are you seeing now? And are you seeing the parallels of maybe what attracted you to bringing her onto the team initially? Are you seeing that pay off in dividends at this point?
Definitely. I mean, we recruited her in high school, so she knew that we wanted her from the whole time. And I think that's why we ended up with her as well. Just knowing that we did want her from the start. And people make decisions, and you make decisions that work for you, and sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. But the way she played in high school and the way that she's playing now, we need a scorer. We needed a bigger scorer. We need someone that can play from the high post. We need someone that can extend the defense out. We need someone that can put numbers on the board, and that's exactly what we're getting. And she's only a freshman, and she had a great game yesterday, 24 points. And you said you love to say her name, and I told you this morning I'm so happy that you love to say her name because we get to do it for 3.5 more years, and that's exciting to me. And it's exciting that her and our other freshmen, Steph Clement, are getting along so well, and they're playing high-low with each other, and they're reading each other. And other members of the team that Abby McGee, who just got here as well, she's a transfer, where everybody's just playing so well together, and we haven't had that experience yet. But they're just building off of each other. So the things that I expected her to bring, she is bringing, and she also knows that there's a lot of work to do as well. Like just because she had 24, she knows that I'm going to get on her tomorrow about the fact that she only had 2 boards. But I mean, that's just as a coach. But we expect those things, and she's going to handle it because she's a great person and she knows about coaching and knows what it takes to be good. So she's taking all the little things that we're talking about and the little things that the girls are talking about. And me and you have talked about this before, that our team is not just a coach-led team. It is a player-led team. I invite all of their input. In fact, yesterday, one of the timeouts, Gwyneth called the timeout. And one of the girls said, "Are we advancing it?" I was like, "I didn't call timeout. Do you want me to call one so we advance?" They were all like, "Yes, let's do that." So we're all on the same page. We're all talking to each other. This is an open forum pretty much with this team. And I love that we can talk to each other and understand each other and say, "Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, but maybe look at this way." And they're all open to all of that. And it takes a special group to be as open to communication as this team is.
Liv, for you, you hear your coach talk about the fact that there's an open forum. Have you experienced like that, anything like that with another coach? And what do you think about the fact that you have a coach who is your leader? She does have the final say, but the fact that she actually involves you in it, as opposed to having strictly a dictatorship, which some programs do have.
I think that's extremely important. That's how my high school coach did it. I think that's very important because she wants to hear what we see on the court when we're playing. So like what we think will work, what we think we could try like once or twice to see if it'll work, because she sees it from the sidelines and we see it from the court. So I think just communicating that and talking about it, hearing what everyone has to say is very important to a successful team.
How much fun is it to play on this year's team? I want to give a shout out to your teammates, Abby McGee, Savannah Purdy, as well as Stephanie Klumek and Faith Kendricks. as well as Juliana Beadler, Bethany Maybe, Marina Schaefer, Lexi Rizzo, Jade Rowland, Kylie Wires. I want to shout out everybody that's on this roster, whether we see them in ample minutes or we see them, sometimes here and there. When I name those names, when I call out that team, when I talk about your teammates, what's going through your mind when I share with everybody this roster, when you're hearing the girls that you get to play with every day? What are you thinking?
It's just a very exciting team. We all support each other. We all want the best for each other. We want each other to get better every single day, no matter if it's just a little thing in practice. We could push each other, get each other better, because that's what we want. We want to get better. We want to win, and that's just a common goal for all of us. And I can't thank them enough. I came in the middle of the season. They welcomed me with open arms, and they've been very supportive ever since I've got here. So,
why is it fun to be on this team?
It's just like we have like an energy when we play together. Like we want the best. We genuinely want the best for each other. So like if one person's doing well, like it's just exciting. Like we lift each other up. Like we get each other going in that way.
Jen, it's not easy to put a team together that's unselfish. It's not easy to put a team together when you become the head coach 5 seconds before the season starts and then have 2 years of COVID issues. So how did you find a way to create an environment and a culture of unselfishness in in a world really where it seems like it's all about me all the time and not we? How did you develop this culture where Liv's saying, hey, if somebody's eating, we're going to keep feeding them. We're not going to take it away from them?
I think it's just their mentality. I mean, and they're mature young women who understand that they probably only have a couple years left of their basketball career, and they want the most out of it for themselves. But how do you get the most out of it from yourself? You involve everyone else, and you, like you said, everyone eats. If everyone eats, everyone's full, and that's what we want. So this team they really want to feed each other. They really want to get into each other's head to make each other better in a different way. It's not just, hey, make that layup. Hey, shoot that shot. It's, hey, let's put you in good situations. Let's say, we're going to attack this way so we can get this one here. It's just the little things that really matter. And they're starting to understand what each other's positive tendencies are. We have a lefty point guard who likes to get into the rim. She was a little bit second guessing herself a little bit on her shots. Yesterday, we were like, just be confident. Our freshman center, who's only 5'10", again, struggles sometimes with getting anxious and nervous when she misses a shot. Steph, we need you regardless of whether you make that shot. So just making sure that they're staying confident and positive and poised individually, it's going to help us as a whole. And they, like Liv said, there's an energy about them. There's a confidence about them. There's an air of feistiness about them. And I love that. I feel like you can't teach those things. You just have to enhance them and keep showing and showing and showing what we're about. And that's what we're doing every single day. And they're easy to work with. They're a fun group to work with. I think we laugh a ton in practice. And that's important. I always say I want them to play basketball when they're 18 to 22 for the same reasons they started playing basketball when they were 5 or 6, because they love it, not because someone's forcing them to do so. And I generally believe that everyone on our team loves to play the game, and they love to be around each other. And when you have those things, those ingredients, the recipe's easy.
It's awesome. We talk about ingredients to success every week on Tuesday to round out the show, brought to you by Avicoli's. And I know that with a last name like Ciullo, you know what it's like. I believe Jen said you're a very proud Italian. And I can equal you on that, Liv. So before I let you guys go, a few other pieces here important to what's going on. Liv, you had a cup of coffee in Susquehanna, and you were recruited by Marywood out of high school. So bring me into the goings on of your life. You originally had chosen Susquehanna. You played 8 games there, and then you come off to Marywood, and you have 4 seasons to play, almost as if you never went to any other school because of everything that's happened over these last couple of years. You have the opportunity to really have all 4 of your years at Marywood University. What brought you to Susquehanna, and then what brought you to Marywood?
So going into my senior year, I committed before the season, and I really thought I wanted to go away. I kind of had my heart set that I wanted to go away. I was going to pick a school that was about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. I just thought I wanted to be away from home. And I was wrong. So I just wanted to come back home. You know, it feels great to be home, playing basketball at home. My family could come see me pretty much every single game. And yeah, I'm just a homebody, to be honest. You know, I just like to be home.
Was it a hard no to say to Marywood initially and then an easy yes when you decided you want to do it? Was Marywood hard to say no to, and then maybe one of the easiest yeses you've ever had when you opened up your recruitment and came back?
Yeah, definitely. You hit the nail on the head there. I knew when I wanted to come home. Marywood's literally in my backyard, so it's home.
And I think the coach is okay too. She's got to have something to do with it, right?
Definitely.
What do you like most about Jen Carleton's coaching style? I'm going to put you guys on the spot. You get to look at each other while you say it, but I love to get your thoughts.
I just love how, like, every single day, like, she wants us to compete. She wants to push us to the best of our ability. She wants us to get better. Like, every single day we're getting better at something. And then we go into the games confident knowing that we put in the work so that, like, we can do things in the games. Like, there's not a game that I think I played 4 or 5 games. Like, there's not a game that, like, we didn't think we were prepared. She just prepares us so well. She pushes us to be the best we can be, and that's all you can really ask for.
She said you guys laugh and you have fun in practice. Bring me into how you would describe practice and what is so fun about practice.
First of all, it's just like a great culture. Like, we all want to get better. Like I said that before, but in practice, like, we compete, it's fun. And like, that's the best part about basketball is competing and getting better. And we do that every single day. We laugh, somebody messes up, we laugh. Coach gets on us, somebody messes up again, we laugh. So, but she definitely pushes us, and that's all you could ask for.
Jen, you recruited her once, then you recruited her again. Why did you want Liv to be on your team? What is it about her on and off the court that you feel is important to have?
We talked about this before, just making sure that you have good people surrounding your program. Like, that was the first thing. We knew she was a good person. We knew she comes from a good family. We knew she was a local kid who understands Marywood, understands where we are and what we want to do, and you know, all like the different schools that are in the area as well, and how we are a little bit different. So I think that was important, you know, stuff off the court. But on the court, she provides a presence for us. She gives us another option for scoring. She allows our guards to get into the paint to create for her. She puts us in good situations for mismatch problems. But, you know, just in general, too, again, forget the basketball side. Most important thing is continuing to build our strong foundation as good people and a good program, and just a good culture, like Liv was just saying. And she fits into those things. If she was the best basketball player in the world, but not a good human, I would say, thank you very much for wanting to come back here, but maybe this isn't the best place for you. Just because I know that we're changing the way that we're looking at things. But I didn't have to worry about that because she was a great person, and that's the first thing that we saw. And then the basketball stuff comes next. She wants to get better. She wants to get in the gym. You know, one of her first questions when she came back was, how often is the gym open? Do you care if I call you at any time for workouts? You know, she wants to get better. She wants to do those things. And those are the kind of people that you want involved with your program. And again, we get it for 3.5 years. And I'm already really happy with our freshmen who we brought in. So just building that good foundation with our recruits and what's coming next. And then just to continue to go. And we're putting ourselves in a good position to be successful, not just saying we're successful because our mental state is pretty good, but actually putting the W's next to those games on our schedule. And that's going to feel pretty good soon.
Liv, your coach just talked about the fact that you want to get in the weight room right away. Have you tested the rock climbing wall at Marywood yet?
You better not have.
I have not. You know, I'm going to save that for after the season. God forbid something happens.
Very, very smart here. Now, Liv, you're on a team that, you know, in this game against Gwinnett Mercy, where you had 24 points in 34 minutes, 11 of 18 from the floor, 7 players out there in total, short bench of only 2. What's it like for you to be on a team that, you know, has Obviously for Jen and I have talked about the fact that she can go out and recruit and has the opportunity to, have a bunch of spaces potentially open to fill in with the right people. To have a team that has a smaller roster and is only playing a couple off the bench, what can you say about that dynamic? Because in that Gwen and Mercy game, everybody played 24 or more minutes, which is something that you don't typically see on teams.
I think we have finally learned each other and learned where people want to get the ball and what they want to do with it. Who wants to drive, who wants the kick for a jump shot. I think just that dynamic on the court. We just practice a lot. We play a lot in practice, so we have really learned each other and where we like, what our spots are, what positions they want to catch the ball in, and where they're the most successful.
It's fun to watch a team grow and develop in advance. Liv, what can you say about where the team is right now? There's plenty of Atlantic East basketball to be played in the regular season. There's the tournament after that. Where is this team right now? As you're right there in the 500 area in conference and overall, how would you describe where the team currently is and where you believe this team can go?
To be honest, I just think we just scratched the surface. I think we literally have just learned to play with each other, and it's only going to get better from here. I'm very excited for the rest of the season and what this team can do because, like I just said, I think we just scratched the surface. There's a lot more to see.
Jen, coming in, you knew that you could have potential additions during the season in the second semester, and we've gotten to talk about that. So you kind of knew going into the season there could be some more coming on here. We need to see how we gel and how we work together. I know I'm going to have a smaller roster. From what you started with seeing on paper to what you've seen in real life, what can you say about the state of Marywood women's basketball?
Like we have talked about before, we were always the team from the very beginning, October 15th, that we're going to celebrate the small successes because we didn't know what the overall bigger successes were going to amount to. But we knew if we just stayed the course, big things will happen, regardless of if it was this year or years to come. But like I said, we went in with an open mind. We went in with a good understanding that we were going to have to work for everything. And sometimes we're not going to be able to put the positive spin to the outside world. Like when we lost to Scranton and it was a pretty big blowout and my girls are still having a great time the second half. They're enjoying being out there because they knew they were getting better. Like those things, like to the general public, to anybody else, probably to Liv when she was still at Susquehanna, she was like, what the heck's going on at Marywood? But at the same time, we knew we were growing. We knew that was a game. It was just one game, but we were continuing to get better and better and better, even from the first game this season. So I think the little things like that make a huge difference, and just understanding it's about the small things that lead up to the big things. And this team has that really good understanding of those things. So I'm proud of their commitment to not just the long-term success, but short-term success as well. And I think the more short-term success, the more small things that you get excited about, the better off the long-term ones are.
Awesome stuff coming here. Final note here. Liv, you've never gotten to play this with me before, but we do a thing on my show called Rapid Fire, and it gets us off the basketball court, and it can be about literally anything on your mind, and we have to answer it. We're going to go round robin. So the way that it looks like on the screen is I'll go to Jen, Jen will go to you, you'll go back to me, and then we'll go back around. So we'll just have a couple rounds of this. Everybody gets a couple questions. So my first question for you, Miss Jen, as we've played this plenty of times, is what has been your – okay, you know what? I want to go to candy. We've never talked about candy before. I don't know why this is striking me right now. Top 3 candy of all time. You're a Halloween girl, so that's why I got
I'm a big Halloween girl. I do like chocolate. I do like dark chocolate. So anything dark chocolate I'm all about. But I also like gummy worms and like gummy things like that too. So I can't give you a top 3 because I am kind of all over the place, but I'm going to say dark chocolate is definitely up there, and anything like gummy, a little sour, I can go with that.
Fair enough, Jen. You go ahead and ask one for Liv.
Liv, well, I'm going to go back to basketball, but not our basketball. You like Sabrina Ionescu, right? That's one of your favorite players. Tell me why you like her and how you try to copy your game from her.
She's just a great tough player. Like she always brings the toughness. Even if she's not like scoring, she's always distributing the ball. Like I just think she's a great all around player, you know. Like she always is gonna bring something to the team, no matter what it is. It could be an off night. She's bringing something to the table.
And Jen, you cut out when you said it, so just to say the name one more time.
Sabrina Ionescu from the Liberty.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure everybody heard that and make sure that they're supporting the WNBA. Be very important thing for you all to do out there as we continue to expand the women's game that should have happened about, 80 years ago. Liv, what's your question for me?
What's your favorite Italian food?
I just made ziti a couple nights ago. So I just made ziti, and I actually had the ziti before I came to do the emceeing and the announcing. That was my lunch dinner thing. So that's what got me through. So I would say, what's my favorite? Oh man, you know what? My mom and both of my grandmothers, all fantastic cooks. My grandmas have passed away. My mom is here, and all of them were good at like something, like really, really great at something individually. So I would say my mom's lasagna. I would say my G-Mama, my mom's meatballs and stuffed shells. And I would say my Gammy, my dad's mom, I would say her veal and her chicken soup was just, I don't know. It's always been like a part of Italian household is that like she always had chicken soup. She would get mad if she didn't have it made for me, like in the freezer, ready to go when I got there. So I'd have to say that. All right, Liv. So we're gonna go back around the other way. Liv, I'm gonna throw this at you. We're gonna stay with Italian food. If you were on a deserted island and once a day a boat brought you a meal, just once a day, and every week you had to pick 3 meals you're going to get for that week, what 3 Italian dishes would you have brought to you by boat?
The first one, definitely spaghetti meatballs. That's my favorite. I love my mom's meatballs. I love stuffed shells. Stuffed shells are good, definitely. And I love lasagna too. I just love everything. I would eat anything.
Okay, fair enough. Do you have a spot in Scranton or Northeast PA that you like to go to?
Honestly, I really don't go out to eat that much. I always am just eating at home, whatever my mom and dad cook. So,
what's the best thing that mom makes and best thing that dad makes?
I don't know. All their food is really good. My mom makes really good chicken cutlets.
Yes. Okay.
And
another thing.
My dad makes really good like pasta and chicken like mixed together.
Can we shout them out? Can we say their names here?
Yeah, definitely. Mike and Rose.
And I know Mike is already following me on Twitter, so shout out to Mike. Rose, where you at? Make your Twitter account. So, Liv, what is your question for Jen?
Who is your favorite WNBA player?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say probably Diana Taurasi. I like her feistiness. I think that, you know me as a coach now, you can kind of see who I'm kind of gonna like and their attitudes and their demeanors. I like Diana Taurasi because she says what's on her mind. She plays hard. She has that feistiness about her. You can't piss her off. If you piss her off, it's the wrong thing to do. And I'd like to say that's a quality that is true to me too. But I think I enjoy her feistiness, and she's kind of my era. She's not young like you. She's more of around my time. But I know I'm going to value my time knowing that it's going to be very short lately. Her, Sue Bird. I know the time is going to be cut short a little bit, but amazing career, both of them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jen, your
question. All right, Jen, I got one for you. We've talked about Disney, and I know you're a huge Disney fan, but can you tell me your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, gosh, dang it. I would say probably, I'm going to shock myself this morning by saying this, I think. It's probably going to be Aladdin because I am a massive Robin Williams fan. And Robin's all about making people laugh, and I love to do that. He did a ton of impressions. We made a list of the impressions I do, and I'm up to 43. So I would say I love watching Aladdin because I love that. I love what Robin brought to it. I love the story. I love the video game that I had for Sega Genesis. Liv, you don't know what that is. That's okay.
I was just say, Liv, you have no idea.
Yeah. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie, that's actually based on a game that happened back, in this really old time period where there were cavemen. It was called the 80s and 90s. But, but yeah, so I would say probably Aladdin, but I'm a big fan of Beauty and the Beast too. Lumiere is my favorite. So,
well, you're not going to get off the hook that easy without giving us an impression after you just said you had 43 of them. So you have to give us some kind of impression now.
All right. So I will give you my Mickey Mouse impression.
Okay.
So that's one of the ones that people ask me to do. I got to clear my throat here. This is this is a different one to do. So I don't know if you want to close your eyes or you want to watch the screen. To the people wherever you are in the world, I guess you're going to see it here, but you'll know that it's me because I'm not going to come off screen and do it. So I'll just do it. So, okay.
Oh, boy, who's my pal? Come here, Pluto.
Nailed it.
So
Amazing.
I have some fun with that one, and we'll do Stitch, and there's other ones I do as well. So I have some fun with it. I like to catch people off guard with it. I always do it when I'm at Disney, and I will be at Disney very soon here to begin February. So I'm looking forward to that. So with that being said, Disney has been a place of happiness and positivity. And I know, Jen, since you have taken over at Marywood, happiness and positivity and community and bringing people together is what you're all about. Liv, I'm so happy to have you here. And I feel so good that Ciullo is what I get to say over and over again. So you keep doing your thing. I'll keep talking about it. And my last and final note here from the both of you is that it's always recruiting season in my mind. So Jen, why should you come to Marywood and play on this women's basketball team?
Because we have players like Liv right here that you just heard it from her. She transferred in and she was able to fit in immediately because of the team that we have, because of the foundation we have, because of the amazing people we have part of our program. And if you want to be part of something amazing, if you want to get better along the way, if you want to have fun with it, you want to win some games, you want to get a quality education, and you want to play free and play like yourself, this is the place for you, really. And you get to, like I said, you get to play with people like Liv who love the game, who want to enhance it, who want to get better, and who just want to bring positivity to our program. And like I said, when you get people like that who want to be around your program, you keep them for as long as you possibly can. And I'm very, very fortunate that we have the group that we do.
Liv, who Jen and the staff recruit, will be your future teammates. So looking out to the world, why should you come to Marywood? To the people out there at high schools and prep schools looking for a home, what do you want to say to your potential future teammates on why Marywood?
I think Coach Jen hit it all. You get a great education. Being on the team is just an experience that is worth it. You have a great time. You get to play a sport you love, and you get to do it freely. And we're definitely on the up here, so it's going to be a good time.
That coming from Liz Ciullo, Jen Carleton, myself, Dan Tortora, in this edition of Pacer Pride, exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our proud multimedia marketing partnership. You will find everything here when it comes to Marywood, and we appreciate you being here with us on YouTube, MixLR, Facebook.com, all /Wake Up Call DT. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Liv. And thank you for all that you're doing this season to make a proud alum like me so very happy to see the women's basketball team.
Thank you.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to be with you inside the Cafe Kubal Studios. Cafe Kubal on 3501 James Street, as well as 401 South Salina Street, both in Syracuse, New York, and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road in North Syracuse at Sweetheart Corners at their drive-through location. And, of course, you can find them at 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, and inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital, where we care about the children and the future of our world and the families of those children and keeping them safe. So, with that being said, inside of MonPosPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', I want to thank Carvel for the annoying moment of the week. Head out to Carvel DeWitt today, the longest-standing Carvel franchise in America, where so many families have gone throughout history, mom, dad, and the kids, supporting one another and supporting our community. And thank you to my mom and dad for going out and bringing me there as a kid. And now at 36 years old, I still love it just as much, if not more, than I did back then. Carvel DeWitt, the annoying moment of the week. And the Orange Dream is exclusively there. My spin on the orange creamsicle that you can get in a sundae or shake form at 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York, exclusively. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. Wow, you know how Juanita talked today about learning, evolving, ad-libbing, and delivering, and realizing that sometimes things that look positive are not good for us. And sometimes we have to see through, read between the lines, and understand who is good and who is not good for us in our lives. Toxicity always ends up showing itself, and so does goodness. So here's to being honest with ourselves, honest with each other, and being good to each other, because this world needs a whole lot more love and not the other stuff. So Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, thank you. And thank you to Juanita. The top dog of the week, honoring Mary Grimes of Lemoyne College. Our Lemoyne College Dolphins are doing fantastic in the hands of Mary Grimes. 10-3 in their first 13 games with her as a head coach. It's the first time she's ever been a head coach, and she has been tremendous. One of the greatest people out there in our community right now, working very diligently to help out our young women and Lemoyne in general. I'm sure the alumni are very proud, and all the current student body and everybody that is to come. Thank you to Mary, and thank you to Gina Castelli, another fantastic human who saw something great in Mary, and that Bob and Linda did as well. So big shout out to our top dog of the week, who honored Erin Foraker, one of her players, as her top dog of the week, proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, which makes Mary even more so of a top dog of the week that she was so selfless in the honor. And then the Marywood Pacers for our final piece of this week's show. The Marywood Pacers round out every week with Pacer Pride, and having the opportunity to have another fantastic women's basketball coach here in our world, Miss Jen Carleton, who joined us and had a fantastic time showing love for her entire team, as well as for Olivia Ciullo. And Olivia Ciullo, one of my favorite name, it's got to be my favorite name I said during the whiteout. So big shout out to Olivia Ciullo, big shout out to Jen Carleton, and to Marywood Women's Basketball. And thank you to Marywood for Pacer Pride exclusive segments every single week, honoring my alma mater. I thank you all for listening and watching on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Facebook, and MixLR, all.com/wakeupcalldt. It's an easy way to remember. Be it on YouTube, Facebook, or MixLR, just go to mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on facebook.com/live-now-dt, and on the homepage of wakeupcalldt.com, where the home feed, where the live feed is embedded on the home page. After we go live, you can see us in the archives of Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Podbean, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, MixLR, and more. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Thank you for downloading us today, and thank you to the hundreds of thousands of downloads that we've received. I'm speechless. I would have been happy if I had 5 downloads. And to know what we've had in the community, it just means the world to me that I'm really trying to help this world, trying to be one of the people that's one of the good guys. And the fact that you have given this show a chance, given my message a chance, and in that case, given God a chance, because that's what I'm here for. I thank you for that. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora wants to thank our Central and Upstate New York partners, Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you in any state by going to maandpaspopcorn.com. Progressive Dental, Avicoli's, K9 Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, the Millhouse Market, Lemoyne Dolphins, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, PB&J's Lunchbox, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, and Mother's Cupboard. And of course, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as you know and was mentioned today on the broadcast, are the proud multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It's Fin goes up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Make sure you check out all of our specials with Lemoyne on our YouTube channel by subscribing to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. You can also go to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com. And of course, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. like clockwork, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, new episodes of Lemoyne Dolphins exclusive coverage happen to you right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. First and third Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, new episodes air of AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. And every second and fourth Wednesday, Dolphin Dive, featuring student athletes, coaches, and staff members, and as well as alumni and future students of Lemoyne. Fins up all day, every day. Thank you so much to Lemoyne for entrusting me with becoming their first ever historic multimedia marketing partner. And thank you to all the incredible people that have told their stories and everyone that will. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is also the proud multimedia marketing partner of your Marywood University Pacers. It is Pacer pride all the time. Marywood University gave me the honor and the blessing of being at the Whiteout, and being at that Whiteout with the student section decked out in white shirts and all the fans that we got to throw out shirts to. One of the greatest moments of my life. And I wish that there was people there like my grandmother, my grandfathers, my grandfathers, my dogs. Would have loved to bring Lily. I know she's here on this planet. But I know everybody's with me, and I know that that love is real. And, you know, I'll make sure that that seat next to me is in somebody that actually deserves to be there in the future. I appreciate so very much what Marywood has done for me, and I cannot thank them enough. They have been by my side through more than I can tell you, and they'll continue to do it because they're awesome people. And they tell their stories every Friday on Wake Up Call, and those stories in Pacer Pride come to you on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt in the archive, and on the Marywood tab on wakeupcalldt.com. Find more information by going to marywoodpacers.com. With that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Read between the lines, see through the clouds, trust in the God you believe in, and know that it will always be a brighter day. Thank you to all of you for making my life so enriched. Thank you to all my guests. Thank you to all my friends. Thank you to all my family members. Thank you to the strangers that have been incredible. Thank you to everybody I've had the opportunity to work with, because I've learned something from you all. And more than anything, thank you to my kid Lily, the people in my inner circle, and you. Thank you, God. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. I'll talk with you soon. Be safe.